listen up. Got a brand new show that's breaking all the rules.
Are y'all gonna sing it or just?
Then we on the
Okay,
move.
okay.
We got something to prove. We came from the bottom, now we at the tippy top to hold it down for our people, cause we all we got. It's a cold, cold world, but we keeping it hot. With our future on the line, ain't no time to stop. All work over here, still we having fun. Yeah, we say it like it is, ain't no holding our tongue. Go get us on the team, yeah, we getting it done. And shout out to Travell, yo, you number one. It started with a dream that turned into a vision. To educate new generations is our mission. Ears to the streets, yeah, we steady politicking. If it ain't about the change, mind your business.
Now wait again, minute. Wave your hands with it. Wait again, minute. Wave your hands with it. Now wait again, minute. Wave your hands with it. We top picks like we all up on the gram with it. Now wait again, minute. Wave your hands with it. Now wait again, minute.
It's a delay. That's gonna kill me.
Wait again, minute.
Wave your hands with it. We top picks like we all up on the gram with it.
Yo, what up? This your boy Super K from Super Sound Lounge, rocking with your favorite podcast, Wait Again a Minute, listed on all platforms, iTunes, Google Play, Tidal, Spotify. Y'all already know the vibe. Tune in.
Welcome to another episode of Wait Again Minute Podcast. Today is Tuesday, May the 3rd, 2022. And tonight we have the honor and pleasure of sitting with Mr. Dapper Luq.
Dapper Luq, that is me. Yes, ma'am. Thank y'all for having me. I appreciate it.
No problem, no problem. So how has your day been thus far?
Today has been busy, right? And the reason why, if you are tracking where we are, it's the Bel Air brunch this weekend. So I'm a partner with that, and I'm also the official clothier, dressing a lot of the folks going to that. So I was trying to go to one event in Portsmouth and then run and meet a client, and I was running a little late, but I'm here. We here. But overall, it was a good day. You know, any day I get to meet with clients. I just hired a new office manager, so I got her going, and we'll see how it goes.
Hey, look, well, it seems like you're doing good.
I'm trying to. It as I said before we started, right? It took me 2 years, but the last 2 months, March and April, have been my best months. So hopefully I can keep that energy going. But you know, one of the things that I tell people all the time that are, you know, want to be in this business world, right? Don't rush, right? It's let the time, because ultimately, if you are rushing, you know, social media think everybody, we comparing ourselves. Oh, they blew up in a week. Well, are they ready though? Like, do they know what they're doing? Like, if someone put them on the spot and really started to dig, are they ready for that spotlight? And a lot of them aren't. So my timing is good.
That's absolutely true. You actually said a mouthful right there. Miss Go Getter, how has your day been?
My day has been pretty good. Really chill, but pretty good.
Okay.
Miss Go Getter. Why they call you Miss Go Getter? I'm just curious. You be going to get the money? Like, okay, you go get the money. Okay, you go get the money. Right on. I like it. I like it.
Yeah. So how's your day been, Cam?
It's been good. It's been good. I can't complain. I'm here and living, so I'm doing good. And I'm sitting beside a clothier.
Clothier, yes.
Clothier. So I'm doing great.
Clothier, clothier.
Okay. Before you introduce yourself, let us know exactly what that means. A clothier.
Okay, so you have, when you go to, you know, not throwing any company under the bus or whatever, but let's say you go to a men's warehouse. A lot of times you have salesmen, right?
Right.
They're like, okay, I want to just sell you a pre-made suit. A clothier, we are supposed to be trained in fabrics. So you're not just coming to me for a suit. It's summertime. What should I be wearing? It's wintertime. What should I be wearing? My skin tone is this. What kind of fabrics or colors complement that? So I know different fabrics, whether it be cotton, wools, wool blends, linen. We use all those different fabrics to come up with a look, hopefully to make you one of one. I like to do one of one looks for my clients.
Okay, gotcha. So introduce yourself to our viewers and listeners of Wait Again Minute, so everybody get to know exactly who you are.
Alrighty. So as you said before, I am you gotta say the.
That's right.
The Dapper Luq, custom clothier, designer, and stylist located in Virginia Beach.
Okay, so how did you get into? Give us a little back history on like how did all this take place?
And where did Dapper Luq come from?
Okay.
Oh yeah,
all
definitely. I like that.
So let's first, and we can blend this all together, right? We're gonna do how much time? We're just gonna do a quick little little bio. Okay, so the Dapper Luq is a blogger, right? Believe it or not, when I first got introduced to the world of fashion, it was through blogging. Basically, what happened was I did 22 years in the Navy. When I was at my halfway mark, I was like, you know, I was literally in Afghanistan, like ducking these mortars, right?
Oh wow.
And I'm like, all right, this ain't gonna be the rest of my life. So I actually read this book by this gentleman by the name of Robert Greene, 48 Laws of Power, Art of
Okay.
Seduction. And he also wrote a book called Mastery. In the book Mastery, he asks you, if money was not an option, what would you be doing? Do that and find a way to monetize it. So ever since I've been in high school, I've always, liked to dress. I said I'm from Baltimore, but they called me the county boy because I always wore polos and khakis, and I just wasn't wearing. I even to this day, I very rarely wear jeans. My kids see me in jeans, and so they be like, "Dad, are you feeling okay today?" So Dapper Luq, I knew I liked suits. I liked the gentleman look. So that's where the Dapper came from.
Right.
Okay.
Luq is just my first name shortened. So my first name is Luq Min. So Dapper Luq. People think I got my name for Dapper Dan, but I didn't even know who Dapper Dan was when I first started blogging. I actually was following a photographer whose name was Dapper Luq. So I was like, okay, I could do Dapper Luq, right? So that's kind of where Dapper Luq came from. Again, I had the Dapper Luq blog. I would fly around to all these different fashion weeks and I would blog and give my take on fashion.
Okay.
After that, I was going to all these fashion shows. One too many people told me I was cute, so I decided to become a model. I was a model for a little while, and then I became a stylist. And then in 2019, with the help of my mentor, I began putting together my very first collection, designing it, and we debuted it in 2020.
Oh wow. So 2020 was the pandemic, right?
Yes.
So a lot of people have things to say about the pandemic, but a lot of things were born
Absolutely.
during the pandemic. A lot of a lot of good stuff.
Absolutely.
But people don't talk about that as much.
No, and you're absolutely right. That the business model that I have in place right now was specifically because of the pandemic, right?
Okay.
So January of 2020, I retired from the Navy. January 10th, I remember to this day, because that was like the last day I actually shaved, right? And January 20th of 2020, I flew to Bangladesh with my mentor. He showed me all these different manufacturers. He showed me the markets where you literally go out and you pick out your fabric. And I drew some, and some we just kind of just through communication. And I designed this 20 suit collection, right? And then my plan was to take this collection around the world, get all these international clients, and do all of that. So March of 2020, I flew to Algeria. My very first
just flying
show.
all over the place.
I was getting flued out in 2020 with all that. I was getting flued out.
Right.
So March of 2020, I flew to Algeria. I was going to launch my collection. I was in Algeria. This was a Friday. Saturday morning, my wife calls me like, "Are you on your way home?" I'm like, "For what? What's going on?" She's like, "Trump Gray shut the borders down. You need to come home." So I just got finished showcasing my collection. I came home from, this world international show, and then the world shut down. Wow. So from there, I had this office. I turned it into a showroom, and that's what I have right now. And I've been in there grinding for the last 2 years. So.
Wow. Okay.
And like I said, that would have, if the pandemic wouldn't have happened, I wouldn't have the showroom I have right now. Cause I wasn't even thinking, I was thinking just come home, have a place to, do work.
Stuff,
and then, I'm going to be flying somewhere, but it was like, no, stay here and you need to be able to do business with whatever you got. So I just got finished signing a lease. I'm like, well, I'm gonna turn this into a showroom. If I got it, I just signed a lease on it. So what you see is a showroom.
But that's good though, because during that time it allow you to really get everything together.
Absolutely.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
even though your vision was something else, now but you're still walking in your purpose though.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I've designed. So that was my first collection that I did in January. I've done 3 so far. So I did another collection that year. So in fashion, we do spring, summer, fall, winter.
Okay.
So I did a spring, summer collection in 2020. I did a fall, winter collection in 2020. I did a spring, summer collection in 2021. In 2020, I did Algeria, Ghana, and Tanzania.
Wow.
With the pandemic going on, I was in these international, Algeria was before the pandemic. So 2021, I had invitations to go to Tanzania again. I was going to go to Kenya. I got an invitation to Rwanda. but all of those fell through because the pandemic started
Pandemic.
going back up
Mhm.
again. So I have not done a collection since. I'm like, I'm not going to do another collection if I can't go anywhere. Collection
Right.
ain't cheap, so I was like, well, let me pause on the collection, but I still got the showroom going. I still had these one-on-one clients. So at this point right now, like I just did a show in Baltimore this past weekend. I showed that collection from last year because it's still brand new to everybody.
Right.
They haven't seen
That's
it.
right.
So I can still put that out there. It's still, very, spring, summer looks, very modern, men and women looks. So I showcased, I think, 12 suits this past weekend and everybody loved it. So.
That's good.
So let me go ahead.
How,
Ms. O'Gill.
so how did they know how to contact you? Like, how did you really get into it for to be notified about come to this country, come to this city, come to this state? Like, how did you get notified?
So that's definitely my mentor. Shout out to Mr.
Okay.
Clavin Leonard. He's the one that actually introduced me to the African market because I'll be honest with
Okay.
you, like if it would have been up to me, I would have been like, yo, who in Hampton Roads doing a fashion show?
Yeah.
But my mentor was like,
Do
you about to
international.
launch? Okay, we going to Algeria. I'm like, for my first show, he like, yeah, were you not going? I'm like, yeah, I'm going. Yeah. So, I mean, he kind of put that in me. Unfortunately, he had a stroke last year. So I've only been able to talk to him kind of intermittently. He is in physical therapy. So, definitely prayers up for Mr.
Yeah,
Clavin.
definitely.
Oh, yeah. Right.
But yeah, like that's why I definitely am all about mentorship, right? Because mentors, they've been there, they've done that. And then a lot of times, if not, you won't, some things you have to go through yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
But he was the one that really put that idea. I actually styled for him for 2 years, and through styling for him, I went to Miami, New York. We did South Africa. We did Ghana, and I think, yeah, and in Bangladesh for the show that we put together. So yeah, he's the one that got me on that, and he's Jamaican, but he grew up in Miami.
Okay.
But he was on the Africa kick for a while. Like he did the Milans, he did the Frances, but he was like, that's not our market. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
I think they accept us, not really accept, they tolerate us more than they accept us. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, you here, okay, we'll let you. But it's like, I want to go somewhere where like they're excited to see me. We're celebrated. You know what I'm saying? I go to Africa, they're like, oh, you from the United States, like they want to know us. They're excited to see us. And like, why would I go somewhere where the energy is like, oh, okay,
It's off,
yeah, like,
Another
and
one,
I'm real big on energy. Like, I'm
Mhm.
not going somewhere where the energy is bad just to say I was there. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Absolutely.
So, when I go to Africa, the energy is always amazing. So I love it.
So for your very first show, most people here, they still trying to do New York,
Absolutely,
do Miami, do
absolutely.
LA and all of that. And they're having dreams of going overseas.
Mhm.
So for your very first show, you just happen to have a mentor that was like pushing you.
Let's go.
No, we're not doing local.
Mm-mm.
We doing global. Let's get
Absolutely.
on this plane and let's go.
And
So when
right
you stepped
now,
off that plane and you stepped into that facility where they was having a fashion show, exactly at that moment, put yourself back in that moment. How was you feeling? Like, what was your energy and your spirit and everything? Like, what was?
I mean, it was great for me. It was like one of them things where this is what you work towards. This is what. So I felt ready. You know what I'm saying? Like it was exciting to me. And like I said, the models were excited to be walking for an American designer. They're like, "Oh, you're an American designer. Oh, I want to." And it was like they was like not really fighting, but like they all wanted to walk for me. I was like, I ain't got but like 20 suits. You know what I'm saying? I can't fit everybody, but like they wanted to really walk with us. And then for this particular people, it was called Oran Fashion Week. This was their first one. So this was their inaugural one. Me and my designer, my mentor, we were the only American designers. It was like
So
Nigerian.
you was doing history as well.
Absolutely. Like this was their very first fashion week. So, and even to this day, I have an open invitation to Algeria. I got an open invitation to Tanzania, open invitation to Rwanda, Kenya. Like they're literally like, they reach out to me every single season and say, do you have anything? Do you want to come? And for Rwanda, I paid for Rwanda last year. I didn't go. So I mean, not only do I have an open invitation, I've already paid. So I just gotta get on a plane and go.
Yeah. So one of the viewers asked, do you do ladies and men fashion?
Yes. if we go back to the original, I'm a custom clothier. That's what keeps the lights on. That's what I do on my day to day. And I
Okay.
design men and women's suits for my collections. So every single season that I've done half men, half women. So I usually do somewhere between 20 to 30 looks for a collection.
Okay.
And they'll be, you know, if it's 20, I'll do 10 men, 10 women. If it's 30, I'll do 15 and 15. But
Okay.
for my fall collection, I did 20 suits and I did 10 coats.
Okay.
So I did 10, what I did, 10 men's suits, 5 men coats, 10 women's suits, 5 women coats for that collection. And then for this past that I just did for the spring, summer of 2021, I did 20, 10 and 10.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So when somebody comes to you, right, how early in advance do you recommend that they come knock on your door or set an appointment with you?
Hopefully 5 to 6 weeks.
Okay.
That gives me time. So with anything, you know, the supply chain is still crazy, right?
Okay.
So I need time to produce it, as far as if we have to custom draw it up, get it over to my manufacturer, because, you know, I mean, I do design, but I don't make my suits.
Okay.
I can tailor my suits, but there's 3 parts to the process. There's the consultation, where we get your custom measurements, we design what you're going to do, and then we go ahead and put the order in. Then there's your fitting. So now it's been shipped, I receive it, and we have your initial fitting. Your initial fitting, make sure, you know, it fits the way you want. I'm
Right.
looking at a few different things that I think, you know, I want to make sure. And then we do your final delivery. So the process for me is normally 5 to 6 weeks. We can rush, you know, but the fastest I will do is 21 days. And that just allows me to have my folks make it, and then also, you know, have time to ship it. And then understand, right? I got orders already in. Like, it's not
Right,
like I'm
yeah.
just waiting on your order. Like, I ain't got nothing going on. So, you know, again, you know, sometimes I have to turn folks away because I understand that, you know, my folks won't tell me, but I'll know when they're starting to get overwhelmed. Right.
Okay.
And I got to be like, all right, hold on. Let's, you know, slow it down, pump the brakes, and make sure we can get this order. Cause again, I want to make sure that, you know, every single suit I put out there has my name on it, you know, and I want to make sure that it represents not only you, but me as my brand.
That's
so
right.
That's
Right.
important.
Right. Because when we were at the Pink Gala, one of the guys there, you dressed him, and he showed us like you had the name on the inside, stitching the inside. So I thought that was neat too, because it, you know, I just think if you're paying a money, you know, for a service, and it definitely, I just think that it all comes together. Like far as,
Absolutely.
you know, you're being personable with that person.
Absolutely.
Because it's not a whole lot of people in there, just you and them. And then it's not, you know, nobody else has that suit or that dress or whatever it is you're making.
Right.
But, you know, the thing is, what I've had an issue getting things made is, you know, when you get somebody to make them and then you got threads and stuff hanging everywhere.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like,
No.
what in the world?
Well, you know, it's the one thing that I'll say, right, and you kind of mentioned it right there, was it's about quality,
Right.
Right.
If you're paying, like, people don't mind paying your fee, right?
Right.
But if you're going to charge a quote unquote, I am a, you know, what do they call it? What's the word I'm looking for? What do they consider Gucci? That's like designer. If you're gonna,
Yeah.
if you're like a designer brand,
Right.
you have to give a designer product.
That's right.
So that's why I said, don't be in a rush, you know, take your time.
Right.
And if you need to, limit your customer base, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's what allows me to do the numbers that I do, is because I have an outside manufacturer. If I was sitting there trying to produce all of these suits, I'd probably be doing 1 suit a month, right? Because I mean, but with the manufacturer, it allows me to actually go out. I mean, Tommy Hilfiger doesn't sew.
That's right.
Right.
Ralph Lauren doesn't sew.
They don't.
But
That's
they're
right.
designers, right? So if you have that, a lot of times, you know, and we're amazing people, right? But we think we got to do everything ourselves. That's
right.
not business, right? If you are running a business, right, you got to be able to take yourself out for a day and the business keeps running. If you take yourself out and the business stops, you have a job. You ain't got a business, right? So
you got an issue too.
Right. Exactly.
So I'm not gonna lie. Right now I own a job, right?
Mhm.
But I just hired an office manager.
Okay.
I'm training my younger brother, and I'm also looking for a few probably like interns that I can bring in. So that way, like I said, I can begin to start stepping back and I can do my international shows, and
Okay.
my business don't stop because I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right. So I know you do suits. But
Mhm.
what about ladies' dresses if I want to get a dress made?
I don't personally do dresses. Well, not yet. Let me just say that. Not yet.
Right.
Okay.
This is my niche, right? And that's another thing. Like when you come into the business, right? The fashion business, you can't be everything to everybody, right?
Mhm.
What is your niche? What do you
That's
do
right.
well?
So your niche is suits.
My niche
ladies'
is suits,
men's
men's,
suits.
women's, children. We do suits, tuxedos, overcoats, shirts. Now, if you want to say a suit dress,
Mhm.
you know, or a suit skirt, I can by all means do that. That's kind of
Right.
in my same lane. In the next, maybe I'd say 4 to 5 years,
Mhm.
maybe I will.
Mhm.
But right now, my focus is on expanding.
Right.
So
Okay.
before this year is out, I want a second showroom. And then in the next 2 to 3 years, I want to have a third showroom. So once I get those showrooms up and running and I feel
Okay.
comfortable,
Right.
maybe we can begin to expand what we offer.
Add more.
But the one thing I'm not doing right now is I don't want to have a large inventory base.
Mhm.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
I'm
Gotcha.
still developing, you know, people know Dapper Luq, but I'm still growing my name, you know,
Right.
nationally and internationally. But when I do drop that first dress, I want orders like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? But I mean, I got to get to that point, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
So the
Absolutely.
blazer you have on,
yes, ma'am.
that's your design.
This is one of them. Yes, this is just
That's
something very
nice.
comfortable. Because I do wear suits and blazers all the time. Sometimes I need you to have something I can just grab and throw on really quickly. Not everything has got to be like, you know, one of
Mhm.
one.
Right.
Sometimes you just want to just have something, you know, I just to throw on really quickly. And today I actually went to an event, so I threw a little purple on.
Right.
That's nice.
I know
It
that a
is.
lot of guys are going to be, you know, blue, gray,
Yeah.
black. So I got to
Mhm.
get them a little bit of color. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
And that purple looking good.
So
too.
yeah, it
pink
is, and
good.
it looks nice on them. Now, is there a base price that you start out with? One of our viewers was asking, like, is there a
yes.
set price?
So my prices for a custom suit starts at 800,
Okay.
right? And then from there, what determines the price is the fabric that we choose
Gotcha.
and then the finish, right?
Mhm.
So when I say finish, there's 3 finishes. There is what we call a super fused, there is a half canvas and a full canvas. And all that really means is this how the structure of the suit is internally. I usually recommend a half canvas, and that just is what it is. It's 3 layers to the suit, vice 2,
Mhm.
and then a full canvas is 3 layers all the way through the suit. And when you want to do that is, for me, again, this is a custom piece, right?
Right.
So if you're gonna do custom, you want it to last. You don't want to get it and then a year from now, yo, this thing is looking tattered and doesn't
Mhm.
look,
Right.
you know, you've
Mhm.
so the half canvas, full canvas, it gives it, it's almost like bones, right? It gives it guts. And it, so if you do dry clean it, you do wear it a few times, it
Mhm.
still has stability and structure over time. And that's why I normally recommend at least a half canvas to all my clients. And everything we do is either hand or machine sewn. We don't use glue. Some people will use glue on their
Oh,
suits.
yeah,
We don't.
that's
Everything is hand and machine sewn. And you know, it's you're, trust me, you getting quality when you deal with me.
and that's good because you should look at it as an investment.
Absolutely,
Right.
absolutely,
So
absolutely.
you want to get whatever the amount is, you pay the amount, and then like you say, you be able to look at it. And well, now one thing I can say, if you have a custom suit, don't wear it 3 or 4 times.
Absolutely not. Well, I would say it depends on a couple different things,
I've
right?
seen that done.
Not 3 or 4.
I'm talking the same way, same shirt.
But
and
hold on,
everything.
this is what
Right.
I'll say, right? So
Mix it up.
I have, I guess, 3 or 4 levels of clients, right?
Okay.
So one of my client bases is lawyers, real estate, business professionals,
Okay.
right? So with them, you know, I normally will kind of what I consider get them their business ready suits,
Mm-hmm.
a blue or gray, a pinstripe, a plaid. And then, like you say, we'll mix it up. We'll get you a couple tie options,
Right.
get some different shirt colors. So again, if you're going to wear, because a lot of times they put this in their rotation of suits because they wear suits all the time when they're doing their business or whatever it can be. So they are going to wear these suits again. That's why I definitely recommend the half or full canvas, because you're going to be wearing these suits again, and you want them to, like I say, not be just a one-time wear suit.
Yeah.
Then I have my proms, weddings, special events, right? Those folks, yes, you know, I normally would give them what was called a super fused, right? So you're going to merit this maybe once or twice, but you still want it to be a nice put together suit and have structure. So my proms, my weddings, one-time events, I usually give them a super fused. But again, it's great quality. It's going to last and it's going to look amazing for that event. And then the next one is probably going to be kind of like folks that I personally style, and they're like my clients. So we're building their professional wardrobe, right? And then I'm helping them get that wardrobe going. So
okay. So now, what are the colors for this spring and summer?
Well, I guess it kind of depends. Me personally, right? So normally your spring and summer are your lighter colors, right? Right now, the guys, if I can get them, I'm trying to push the envelope. I'm like, let's push some pastels, right? Because I feel like, again, when you're with me, you're coming to me not only for, a good suit, but you're coming to me because of my professionalism, my knowledge in this realm. And I want to make sure that you have a one-of-one look. You're not coming to me to look like everybody else. So we're going to get you, if you remember Donnell, like we did, it was a light blue. I knew it was going to be, a spring event, and we did, it was the pink gala. So we just added some pink. So again, no one else is going to have that look. I can guarantee you, because we're putting it together. And I also, like I was saying earlier about, what I'm wearing today, I know what is available to the average person off the rack. So I know what I got to do to not look like that. 'Cause I know what's available. It's blue, gray is always out there. So if you stay away from those colors, you're gonna look good. Unique, So
that's actually good though, that you not only, you actually are more, like some people just make suits or draw, like you're really into it. Like even listening to you, like you're smiling, like it's like a high for you.
Listen to me. I got into this 10 years ago, like I said, and this is the realm that I want to be in. And the pandemic is definitely the time where you weren't in this because of the money, right? I genuinely love fashion. I could just go to a fashion week and just enjoy it. I love I'd love to style women. I'm not making women's dress, but I can style the hell out of a dress. Trust me. Because I was a stylist for 2 years. So I could do those things. And yeah, this is definitely a passion for me. At the end of the day, we all need a little bit of money.
Oh yeah.
But to me, money is not an option right now. The money that I'm making, I'm usually investing it. I retired after 20 years. I'm comfortable, with my retirement.
Absolutely.
This is all passion for me. So
yeah. So when you were styling, were you here in Virginia styling?
When I was styling, I was working for my mentor. So he was based out of New York. And I did New York Fashion Week twice. I did Miami Fashion Week. Like I said, we went to Ghana, South Africa.
Okay.
So I do, one of the things that I also was doing when I was kind of in my styling phase, I love couple styling, right?
Okay.
And the one thing I tell couples, right, like don't match your partner. You should complement each other.
That's right. Exactly.
So, I was very much into, putting together something for them that complement each other. So we know we here together, but we ain't matchy. You know what I'm saying?
We ain't in the 80s. So you're not gonna have, they're not gonna have on the same outfit.
Absolutely not. They might not even have the same pattern on. Like normally what I'll do is, as we say in the gentleman realm, like she has the dress. Normally all eyes are on her, right? So now how can we complement her and what she has? Maybe take one of her colors or two of her colors, and then we create the guy's look from that. So
yeah. I'm glad you said that. I like that. Because that matchy for me.
No, that's too much. Unless you got, them grand folks in them sweatsuits and you're doing a two-step. No, we're not. We're not doing that.
So I noticed you said that you're looking to have 3 different locations.
Yes.
What are the locations and why are they the locations that you're looking to get?
So I'm here in Hampton Roads. This is where my children went to school at. So I was here. When I retired, I was not going to pull my kids out of high school. So my first location was Virginia Beach. That's where I'm, locally. My next one is Baltimore. I'm originally from Baltimore. So I always wanted to have a place back home in case I, decide to move back there one day. All of my siblings are there. My mother is there. So I always kind of wanted to have a reason to go back there. And if business is there, that's always a reason. The next one is, I was thinking about Raleigh, right? I hear Raleigh is up and coming.
Oh, it is, yeah.
North Carolina is a great area down south. They got some expendable income. And I didn't want to do Charlotte because I feel like everybody's in Charlotte. Everyone's in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I have clients in Atlanta, but I don't want to be based out of Atlanta. You know, if y'all want to come up and see me. And I've actually last year I created garments for 2 high schoolers in Atlanta. I styled a guy that's on a reality TV show out of Atlanta. So I have clients down there, but I just don't want to be.
Yeah, I want to live
based
down
out
there.
of there.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot going on there. It is. So okay, when the kids come to you, like far as the younger guys come to you with prom, do you do they tell you what they want, or you kind of give your suggestion on what you think they will look nice in, or what's the end look? Or
It depends. A lot of times, what they'll do is they'll come to me with a color, right? Or they'll say, this is what she's wearing. And I always tell them, like, if you have something that you like, because a lot of times I don't want to be the one to tell you what's going to look good on you, right? They kind of already sometimes, you know, with social media, Pinterest, all that, they can look and see what they like. Then what I do is, okay, how can we make this unique to you? This is what you like, but we're not going to copy that. We'll use it as inspiration and we'll create it so that it's now yours. And that's what I do. As an example, I just had a young man come into me probably about a week ago, and he wanted something green. Right. So he showed me something that he had seen. I think it was another guy at another high school had wore. I was like, okay, so that's what he wore. So you like that green. So now how can we make this unique to you? So what we did was we added a few more custom. We added, so it was green and now it's got green and gold. Right? I'm not going to say what it looked like completely, but you know, we added some gold accents to it, and it's going to be custom fit to him, and it's going to be unique to him. But you know, it was inspired by something that he saw that he liked. And I know it's going to be good.
Yeah, I can tell you one thing though. One thing I do know is from when I went to high school and stuff, you know, the guys wore like the rented tux and stuff like that. And the girls, you know, we always showed up on the guys. But now when you see these young men,
they be showing.
They be having these young girls, you be like,
yeah, absolutely. That's good. That's
taking over. I mean, you're talking about accent, you know, no, they didn't took over her shine.
Absolutely. And it's crazy, right? You know, I'm not gonna throw no shade on no individual, right? But last year for the Bel Air brunch, the guys stepped it out. I was impressed. I was like, okay, the guys really showed up. And like you said, like, you know, women, it's easier to get a unique look, like off the rack or even online. But for guys, it's not as easy, especially if it's like a suited event. How do you not look like everybody else? Remain your uniqueness. And that's kind of difficult because a lot of guys are not. And so it's sometimes when you're just going to like a Macy's or a K&G, you're probably gonna get someone somebody else is gonna grab. So, you know, the fact that those guys, like, I didn't see anybody wearing the same stuff. Everybody's stuff fitted. Like, the guys showed up. So I was impressed.
That's what made me, I seen the pictures from last year and I was like, oh, I want to go this year. But then it was like so much going on. I realized that it was this weekend. Like, there's a lot going on this weekend.
But my son's ring dances this weekend, so I got to style my son.
Really nice. They really did. Well, everybody that I seen, you know, as far as the pictures, they really look nice. Yeah. And so yeah.
Absolutely. I was impressed. They impressed Dapper Luq. So keep it up, guys.
So now, where do you see yourself in 3 to 5 years besides opening up? Because we know that's going to happen.
Absolutely. So for me, I want to be, my intent has always been to be an international brand, right? So hopefully my e-commerce will come online and they will be able to kind of have my international clients be able to get things from me. The one thing right now is if you want something from Dapper Luq, every single person meets Dapper Luq. That can't always be. Because I'm only one person.
The Dapper Luq.
Yeah, they actually are meeting the Dapper Luq, every single client. So my intent is to bring up some folks that can, you know, promote the brand, push the brand, and still maintain the same level that I'm accustomed to doing, and then have more of an international presence. And in order to have an international presence, you have to have some type of e-commerce going, because you can't fly into every country, or you have to have that's when your manufacturing comes online and you have garments that you can send over there, and you kind of have that network going. So actually, I was actually invited to be into a boutique in Ghana. But at the time, I didn't have the capital to create a collection that big. I didn't want to just give them a few. I wanted to give them, like, you know, a bunch of items. I was like, you know, see me in about 2 years and we can, you know, revisit this. And it's still available, so I can definitely do it.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you had an actual mentor that actually didn't mind pouring into you, because a lot of
Absolutely.
times you have those mentors, or you kind of following people, it's like they're
really
scared
have
to
a
pour
mentor.
into you.
Yeah. And then you also, and this is one thing that I can say, right? So sometimes they're focused on themselves, right? It's nothing personal against you. They're not where they want to
Right.
be. So they're, some people can help you while they're in their journey as well. Some folks need to focus on their journey themselves and get to a point that's comfortable. So what I would say is, like, if you approach a person and they don't necessarily give you the feedback, understand, they may not be in a position that they can help you completely, but even if,
That's true.
you have a conversation, you can give tips, but, don't take it personal, right? Move on to somebody else. As they say, we don't know what people are going through, right?
That's right.
So,
That's right.
I try not to take anything personal. I look at it as business. And I'm very respectful of people's time, because that's what I know is the one thing that I don't get back is my time.
Exactly.
So I am, if I give you my time, like, we really got something, because that to me, I can't get back.
That's true. That's true. But I think you're kind of like well reserved, and I think it's probably because of your military background.
Probably so. And the one thing with me, I just and I had this conversation with a good friend of mine the other day. Like, I just understand more now. Just I'm 41. The 40-year-old me is just a lot more understanding. The dad, the husband, the retired military guy. I know what I can control, and I know what I can't. So those that I can't control, it's not worth my energy. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, what I'm going to focus my time on now is going to either grow, or it's going to benefit, the people coming up behind you, or then, hey, just keep it moving.
That's it.
So would you consider, with the business you're in, and you just mentioned everyone gets to meet you, so you work with everyone personally, but you're trying to build your staff base so they can pretty much offer the same thing. What about customer service? By that type of feel, customer service, wouldn't you say customer service would be your number one?
Absolutely. So for me, as I transition, the big thing for me is training, right? So right now, every single client is seeing me, right? What we're going to move away from is me, but every single person that represents me will be trained by me. So if I feel as though you're not going to represent me, you're not comfortable in your own skin out there to represent the brand, I'm going to have to tell you to step back, because the one thing I don't want to do is I step back and then the quality or the presentation is not what it was. And then at some point, I'm going to have to take another step back, and then I'm going to have to train the trainer. You know what I'm saying? So, it's levels, but you got to be thinking about that. And that's absolutely true. Like, I know at some point, if I want to grow, I cannot see every single client.
Not at all.
So I gotta let the reins go a little bit, but at the same time, I want to train every single person that's going to be representing me.
To basically represent you, as you do.
So basically, he want the Chick-fil-A type of customer service.
I don't know about that. Like,
well,
Chick-fil-A.
meaning, like Chick-fil-A, people can say what they want about Chick-fil-A, but their customer service,
absolutely,
it is. I don't care which one you go in. Is all the way across the board.
Their standards definitely very high.
Definitely. But I get it. So what do you do in your spare time, like for fun? Like, I know you always, like you said, when you came in, you don't wear jeans that much. So if you out on the town, like, what do you have on? What are you doing?
Well, I love an amazing brunch. I'm a brunch guy. Brunch is, so I very rarely do clients on Sunday, because that's like my rest and relaxation day. So I love an amazing brunch. I do like to read. This past year, probably like a year and a half, stock market. I'm really into stock market and investing. So I do a lot of reading I watch, podcasts. I'm always trying to learn, because, as we say, if only somebody had told me, train me in financials, right? So I'm in the position where I can't keep blaming somebody else, right? Now it's up to me to go actually learn. I know I want to learn, so let me go learn it. So I do that. And then I do have, 3 children. My oldest is in college, so he's up in Connecticut. And I still have, my youngest is 6, my daughter. And then my middle is 17. So he's in that I'm too cool to hang with mom and dad phase right now. And that's cool. That's cool. But he ain't too cool for me to dress him though, right?
That's right.
But I try to spend time with the family. You have to be able to. people use the word balance a lot. It's difficult to balance, but you have to prioritize,
Right.
Mhm.
what's important. Because I mean, when my workday is going, I can't stop my workday. Even though I'm an entrepreneur and I create my time, still I have to focus it on the business. But I can say, hey, Sundays is off limits.
Right.
Weekends, we're gonna spend some family time. So I just make sure I prioritize best I can, and then enjoy myself with the family and my friends as well. So
Okay, that's good. So we have a question from one of our viewers. Do you think that one can mix patterns and the patterns like the stripes with the plaids, or should they stick with one pattern? Because now people doing the stripes with the flowers, the plaids with.
So this is what I'll say. This is Dapper Luq's take on fashion, right? So there are rules and there are guidelines.
Okay.
Right.
Oh,
so
okay.
rules are like, to me, basketball. You cannot double dribble. You cannot walk on the sideline.
Yeah.
In fashion, there's guidelines, but
Okay.
if you can pull it off, pull it off. Like, I'm not going to be like, because the one thing I'll tell people all the time, right? People like, can you help me? I'm like, I can put together a look, but if you don't feel comfortable in
That's
it,
what I was
then
gonna
you can't
say.
wear it. So it
That's
doesn't matter what I suggest. You have to be comfortable in it. So the one thing that I do tell my clients, right? If you're going to mix patterns, for me, it has to be, one has to be very small, one has to be very bold, right?
Okay.
So if you'll see like the really tight plaid print on a shirt, and then you'll see a really bold pattern tie, that's mixing patterns, right? But one is very small, one is very bold. So it sits on it and it doesn't look, like
It
they're
meshes.
meshing together. You know what I'm saying? So that's what my take on patterns. So I feel like, that's kind of how I do it. But at the end of the day, if you want to wear polka dots and circles and loop the loops and you feel good in it, by all means.
And that's true though, because you have to have the confidence. However you put it together, you have
Absolutely.
to have the confidence because you have to wear it. It can't
Absolutely.
wear you.
And somebody actually asked me that. A stylist friend of mine asked me that. Right now, me and a stylist are completely different, right? Because a stylist, what you're doing is you're putting on clothes, however you put it on, and everyone's going to say, who dressed you? Right. And you're going to be like, oh, this stylist dressed me. So they're going to be like, that looks horrible. And so the stylist is going to be like, I ain't getting no more clients. Me, I create a item and you purchase it. I don't put it together unless you want me to. But at the end of the day, if you want me to give you loop the loops, giraffes and swirls, and you pay me for it, hey, it's on you.
Yeah. So if I come in there, if I come in and say, hey, can you give me a polka dot jacket and then have my pants be flowers?
Absolutely. Yep.
You might be like this.
And I, in my mind, but you won't see it in my face, but I'll be like, and when you walk out and after the check clear, I want to see what she gonna wear this to, but but absolutely, I don't try to put my style on my client.
Okay.
I want them to be able to choose it. And if you feel comfortable in it, I literally have a client. This dude was his nickname is Outside the Box, right? So he said, I'm wearing everything I wear is outside the box. All righty, it's gonna be outside the box, whatever we pick.
Right. Yeah. Because I have seen a lot of ladies and even guys wear the mixed patterns. And I have seen someone, I'm like, oh wow, that look good. Like, man, that look good. But what it really is their confidence.
Absolutely.
Empowering the outfit.
Absolutely.
So it makes the outfit look good because you can see the next person with the same type of pattern. You like, okay.
Yeah.
Right,
and I want to go back to a question you asked me, right? So you asked me where I see myself in 2 to 3 years. I want to write a book, and I forgot about this, right?
Oh, okay.
And the one book I want to write is called I just had the title. Hold on one second. Hold on. You can't make no noise. I gotta think about it. The Effortless Gentleman, right? Effortless Gentleman. Because I think with fashion, it should look effortless, right?
That's right.
Some people, they put stuff on you like, man, that dude tried too hard. They doing too much.
That's absolutely true,
right? So I want to push out there when you are wearing clothing, when you are portraying style, it should be an extension of you.
Mhm.
Now, I'll be the first one to tell you, it may take you 2-3 hours to put it together.
Oh, it takes me.
But when
2-3
you
hours
are
all the time.
wearing it, it should be like, oh, why didn't I think of that? Oh, they wearing that well. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It should look effortless. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So if y'all see that book in 2 to 3 years, Effortless Gentleman, that's me. Pick it up.
Yeah.
I
So,
know
but another thing, why we can't wear white after Labor Day?
That's not my rule.
Yeah, it's not my rule either.
That I wear white.
But I do too.
But you know what?
I don't see why not.
That was what they call it, one of them old wives things
Yeah.
that they said back in the day.
yeah.
But no, I'm absolutely I
do.
wear any color. Labor Day is the end of this. Labor Day signifies the end of the summer, and then when you're shifting into the new season, you know you're supposed to not wear white. But I mean, if it's a event, I'm gonna wear some white. Why not?
Yeah.
I don't
I
follow them
do.
rules. They're guidelines. They're not rules. Guidelines.
Okay.
So look, well, you have taught me something here because I always wear. I mean, I will wear white after Labor Day too.
Me too.
Like it definitely is like an old wives' tale or,
Uh-huh.
thing or whatever. But I wanted to know, when you're like stressed or when life is just going, like, what's your go-to? Like, what do you do to kind of like decompress?
Okay.
Mhm.
So I will tell you, in 2020, I got anxiety really bad, right? And the reason why was because it wasn't because of the pandemic, right? What it was for me was this was the very first time that everything was on me, right?
Okay.
And I'm a perfectionist, right? And I wanted every single client to be perfect, everything. And I had to deal with a manufacturer I didn't really like, clients' orders coming in. So, like, literally, this I remember to this day. It was Christmas time 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And I just could not stop my mind from thinking of this client and thinking of that. And did I get this right? And what's
Right.
coming up? Like, so for me, I actually use this app called Insight Timer. Right. And it's like meditations. And this is how I found out I had anxiety because, they have lessons. You get to
Mhm.
hear professionals. And so for me, I have learned over the last, year, 2 years, what happened today is done.
Right.
If whatever happened,
It's
if
over.
you can't fix it, then you have to just let it go, right? Don't focus on what has happened and what you have no control over. So that's why I said I'm just mentally in a space where I'm not going to say things don't get to me because I'd be lying, but I'm less likely to be worried about things. And when at the end of the day, I try to find, time to listen to some meditation, just really just let my mind go because today is over and tomorrow ain't here yet. So in this moment, just relax and just, try to be. Now, I do have right now, I am somewhat of an insomniac. I'm not going to lie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working on it. But overall, I am getting better at leaving what has already happened and not focusing on the next day until we're actually in that day.
The next day.
So,
Right.
yeah.
I'm definitely feeling you on that, especially that anxiety part, just trying to get through the day and not really worrying about tomorrow.
Absolutely.
So, and just trusting that, and just I'm learning that things that stress me lets me know that it's too big for me.
Absolutely.
So I gotta take and dump it.
Absolutely.
Because
or do it in chunks, right? Everything
Yeah.
doesn't have to be all done at one time. It doesn't have to always just be you. How can you it's crazy. So another thing that I had in 2020, like I said, I was dealing. So this was the one thing I did. I picked my own manufacturer. I had my own tailor. I had all these
Okay.
things that I had personally picked out, right? And things weren't going right. And some of the things I had to dump, like, if this is causing undue stress, this may not be the one for me. There's other manufacturers, there's other tailors out there, there's other resources. Right now, I have 2 manufacturers. And that was a lesson I learned from 2020 because in 2020, I had one manufacturer. So I was stressed because orders were coming in messed up, orders were coming in late.
Wow.
So in my opinion, right, if you have one, you have none.
Right.
Because if something goes wrong,
Done.
you have nothing. You have no backup. So ever since then, I always have at least 2 manufacturers. I always have at least 2 tailors, right? So if one tailor is overwhelmed, I got to rush order. I got another tailor to back them up. You know what I'm saying? So those are lessons that I've taken. And that's another reason why, like I said, the rushing thing, right? I had to go through that stress, that anxiety to now be ready for this moment right now. You know what I'm saying? So it sucked going through it, but it was necessary for me to understand. I had to get that little pain to now be ready so that I don't have that happen again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
Oh, exactly.
Absolutely. So my last question for you is, has anybody ever brought something to you that they've had made for somebody else and they say, hey, look, fix this. I don't want to buy another whole suit. I done spent money in this. Can you fix this? So basically you're fixing somebody else's issue.
I won't fix it, but I'll give you one of my tailors and I'll let you take it to them.
Okay.
Right. So one thing I'm not a middleman for my tailors. Both my tailors are independent, right? They have their own business. I just happen to use them.
Okay.
I'd like to have an exclusive tailor, but I don't have the clientele yet. So I don't want to hold them up. So if someone comes to me like, hey, I got this thing, like you say, can you fix it or can you tailor it? I'll just give them my tailor, like, hey, you go to them. And that way I don't have to worry about fees and cutting off.
Right,
you dealing directly with the tailor. So that's what I'll do. I'll just give you my tailor's information. You can talk to them, and if they can fix it, they can work it out. If not, that's a conversation between y'all. I'm out of
You
that.
out of it. So they don't have to come back to you and say, you told me to go over
here.
Yeah,
absolutely. Like,
so can you do it now?
Yeah, no.
Like,
If my people didn't make the garment, I don't want to touch it. Nope.
Right.
You can talk to the tailor.
That's how most professionals do, especially when you're a perfectionist.
And not only that, but the moment you touch it, you're taking responsibility for it. Even though you didn't create it in the first place,
right?
The minute you accept it, now from that moment, it's yours. So I'm like,
So if it fall apart, so you touch it, fell apart, they be like, well, you had it.
Give it to the tailor. Here go my tailor. You can talk to them. I don't even want to see. I don't even want to know what it look like.
Right. That's right.
We didn't make it. I didn't got Dapper Luq on it.
I know that's right. I know that's right. Cause it all apart. And
absolutely. And then it's on me.
Like, and look, now my sleeve falling off.
Nope. I don't even want to see it.
And the only thing you did was stitch up the button.
Yeah, hold up. Like the shoulder coming off. We didn't even touch the shoulder. What are you talking about? Like, yeah, we replaced the buttons. How did I make the arm fall off? Nope.
So I know earlier you was mentioning even with the ties and all that stuff too. Do you sell ties or do you make them?
I don't. Well, yes, we can make them, but I also have accessories in my showroom. So when you come to my showroom, we have shoes, we have some hats, some light accessories, ties, bow ties, lapel pins, tie clips. So we do have some things, right?
Okay.
And then I have some sample suits, right, where you can kind of look at and get inspired.
Okay,
and I have some things around the showroom.
Get a feel for
and kind of get inspired. And because some people come to me, like as an example, I just did a birthday gift for a husband, and he is not a suit guy, but his wife wanted him to have a custom suit for his birthday,
right? And
so he started looking around. He was like, "Oh, I like that. I want to do something like that." So it kind of gave him inspiration, for what he wanted, because he. I think he said last suit he had was like in middle school or something like that. So,
wow.
So he, but his wife, and he looked great. He got it. He loved it. So,
That's a suit that she probably end up laying him down in.
Hey, right on.
I'm sure. So this is my last question to you for real though. What do you want people to remember about Dapper Luq?
Legacy.
What is your legacy when it's all said and done?
I can make it in another space other than a professional athlete, no disrespect to those guys, but in our, community, a lot of times, we don't think we can make it in certain areas, right? So I want to kind of be an inspiration for those that love fashion, that want to make it in something else other than, rapper or basketball football player. Like, how else can we make it? Right. So as you said, I'm very passionate about this. We could talk about fashion and style, all day long, and that's what I do.
Right.
I just want to kind of continue that. Like, he really loved everything he gave was authentic, you know what I'm saying? So absolutely.
Oh, that's good. That's a good one.
Well, I have enjoyed talking to you, but before we go, we always ask our guests, and you're special, and
thank you.
But first of all, I gotta tell you, like, you're really wearing that purple.
Oh, thank you. I try. I mean, I knew I was gonna be on the show.
Is this like a lilac the purple up there, or
This is lavender.
Oh, lavender.
This is
okay.
lavender, and this is a purple. Again,
Okay.
you know, I did do an event earlier, and I just wanted to do something kind of outside the box, but comfortable. You know, so this
Yeah.
is just a lavender and a
the
purple.
jacket is gray.
And this is just a regular gray.
Right,
You know, it's
okay.
a light gray.
Right.
You know, there's levels of
He have
gray.
on his loafers.
I do have a loafer,
Just
a
like-
nice
just like
black
this.
loafer. You know, I got a no-show sock. I ain't got my funky feet. You know, so no show. I have a sock on.
So
But I am
stylish,
showing
so
my ankles
stylish.
out. You know, I put a little lotion on today. But you know, I'm very comfortable in this. You know, like
Yeah.
I'm comfortable. And I ain't gonna go run up down no court, but I am
Mhm.
comfortable.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
That's one thing I can say, though. Whenever I seen your pictures or seen you out somewhere, you know, you look very nice in your clothes.
Well,
like
thank you. I
you have
appreciate
that preppy type look to me.
yes, and my clothes fit me, and
Mhm.
And you
know,
wear them. they
And
don't
thank
wear
you.
you.
Absolutely. You know, it's effortless. You know, the
Mhm.
effortless gentleman. I'm
Mhm.
telling you that book is coming. I'm telling you, it's
Yeah.
coming.
Well, again, we always ask our guests how their time was here on Wait Again Minute.
It was amazing. I thank y'all. I mean, like I just said earlier, like if you get my time, right? Like it's, and I even when I emailed, I was like, what we gonna do on this show? What we
Yeah.
gonna talk about?
Yeah.
You know, because
And
I'm about to give
and
you
he
my
did.
time.
He
So
did.
what are we about to talk about? Is this gonna be mutually beneficial? And it
He
absolutely
did.
was.
He
So
did say that. And
I thank you.
you know what? I don't mean to cut you off. And when he typed that back, I said, well, nobody never asked me before, like basically, you know, who are we and what, you know, he wants to know about us.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh shit. So I was sitting there, but I just started, you know, typing back. But it made me even more interested in you though.
Yeah.
Because some
Yeah.
people now we reach out to them, they just come just because.
Yes.
Yeah.
They don't know
absolutely.
what they're stepping
But you
into.
know, this is the one thing. You know, I get invited to a lot of talk shows. I get
Mhm.
invited to a lot of fashion shows, and I guess that's because of, like you say, what I give off. And so,
Mhm.
again, I just want to make sure that it's mutually beneficial. It
That's
was no
right.
disrespect to y'all's
Mhm.
show, but if I'm gonna come on, like I want to make sure that it's benefiting y'all and it's also
That's right.
benefiting me because I'm
Right.
giving y'all my time, and I'm gonna
Right.
come up here. We're gonna be energetic. We're gonna
Right.
talk.
Right.
Like I'm gonna give you me. I'm not just
Right.
gonna show up and be like, all right, so what y'all about to ask me?
Yeah.
Like I mean, we're in this together.
That's
Like,
right.
we also
Right.
we want
It's a
to
unit. Yeah.
we want you exchange energy, right?
Right.
Y'all give me
Right.
energy, and hopefully I'm
Uh-huh.
giving y'all
Yeah,
energy,
that's it.
right?
That's
So
it.
if I'm gonna do that, I feel like it's got to be mutually beneficial. So
Yeah.
that's why I asked that question because
Yeah.
it's not about how many views y'all get and who you know. I just want to
Mhm.
make sure that it's a good energy exchange.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then if that's it, then I'll come up every time. So,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, hopefully we had a good energy
Ex-
exchange. So you come up
absolutely.
every time.
Absolutely. Thank
Yes.
y'all for having me. I appreciate it. It was fun.
Mhm.
Like I said, I like to talk about this all day long. And then, you know, if I can get in front of a new crowd, hopefully y'all got something from the folks listening.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
definitely.
And yeah, we'll do more from this.
So
Yeah.
where can people find you and hook up with you?
If you don't know where I am by now, then y'all ain't. No, I'm kidding.
The Dapper Luq.
Dapper Luq, DAPPERLUQ, dapperluq.com is my actual website. And then all of my social media handles, Dapper Luq. Instagram, Facebook. I'm on TikTok. I'll be doing a little small.
Oh,
I don't be
little-
doing little dance videos, but
Yeah.
I usually do the day in the life of videos. I do like reels,
Okay.
and it's usually like I'll just take little videos of my day,
Mhm.
and then I'll just put it all together, and that's what I'll put up on. And then on YouTube, Dapper Luq. Some of my old videos from when I used to
Mhm.
do the fashion weeks are up there. So if you want to check that out, so what I used to
Okay.
cover,
Okay.
that's up there. Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, I might have to check that out. I want to see the cut on fashion.
Right. Ms. Goga, do you have any last thing you want to say before we play our
No.
theme song?
Other than I really enjoyed you. and
Oh, thank
you.
you.
for
I
coming.
appreciate it.
I learned
Yes.
a lot too.
I'm
but I'm
glad.
gonna have to go
I'm
check
glad.
out those fashion week because
Please
that's
do.
something that I would be interested in doing. That's amazing to me.
Yeah.
Like,
And
stuff like that, it's
to
just
me, it was
amazing.
crazy because like a lot of times I would just literally just shoot an email like, "Hey, I want to come see this fashion." They're like, "Here's your press pass." I'm like, "Oh, that was easy. Okay."
Oh, wow.
Yeah, oh,
Yeah.
wow.
It was
I
definitely
wish
meant for
great
you to be there.
success
Yes.
and
absolutely.
everything.
Yeah.
And you'll be back out there doing your fashion weeks.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it. 2023. Be on the lookout. 2023.
International,
okay.
international. We're gonna play our theme song. We're gonna get out of here.
Let's go. Yo, listen up, everybody. Have you heard the news? Got a brand new show that's breaking all the rules. Started out from VA and now we on the move. From local to global, cause we got something to prove. We came from the bottom, now we at the tippy top. To hold it down for our people, cause we all we got. It's a cold, cold world, but we keeping it hot. With our future on the line, ain't no time to stop. All work over here, still we having fun. Yeah, we say it like it is, ain't no holding our tongue. Go get us on the team, yeah, we getting it done. And shout out to Travell, yeah, you number one. It started with a dream that turned into a vision. Educated it in
Okay,
the generations.
okay. I'm
Our
about to say,
mission
hold on.
is to the streets. Yeah, we steady politicking. If you ain't about to change, mind your business.
Now wait again, minute. Wave your hands with it. Wait again, minute. Wave your hands with it. Now wait again, minute. Wave your hands with it. We top pics like we all up on the gram with it. Now wait again, minute. Wave your hands with it. Now wait again, minute. Wave your hands with it. Now wait again, minute. Wave your hands with it. We top pics like we all up on the gram with it.
Good
Good night.